Okay, hello internet people. So, as the start of a new thing, we're gonna have a look at a new game. Well, it's not a new game, it's been around for a few years, but it's still in early access. And I'm just gonna clear this. I'm gonna start a fresh look at Subsistence. So, just quickly go through the settings here. Normal, Hunters enabled. I'm changing that to revenge attacks. I'm changing the month to the month of April, and we'll change the days in the year for now up to 120. I'll explain that as we go through. Tips for day one, it's got here, search for supply crates and plants. Okay, fair enough. Avoid predator encounters unless necessary. Right. And build a base command unit for advanced build options, and also a base locator beacon. Out of these three, we're going to be focusing on the first two. The third we'll get to eventually. There's a reason for that, and the settings will become a little bit more clear as we go, what all that stuff means, I hope. So just wait for this to load up. Okay, so this game is based on the Unreal Engine, so it's quite pretty. The light effects are usually pretty good. If you look in the top left, you'll see a temperature which is 4 degrees, pretty cold, and a compass. So if we go to where the sun is, it's in the east, which tells us it's morning, early morning. Sun's not long up. We are quite high up, it looks like. I'm not sure where we are. There is a map, but because we haven't explored, we won't really see anything on it. So, what's the premise of the game? Well, like any survival game, the premise is to survive. But this one, we start off with a bandage, a match, one match, a canteen of water, 8 bullets, an apple, an axe, a handgun, and a little glow rod, which will be handy if we want to go to a rave, but not terribly handy for anything else. So the first thing we'll do is we'll reload our gun, because we only had 1 bullet in it. Now we have 7, which is barely enough to kill anything. So the game did say avoid predator encounters, and then reminded that with a pop-up. And it's really important, we do not want to be fighting anything at all. Our priority for the first day, and therefore for this episode, is going to be to find somewhere to set up the beginnings of a base. And once we've done that, that'll be the end of the episode, pretty much. However long that might take. Hopefully not too long, because I don't want the episode stretching out forever. So we're going to chop down some trees. We're going to focus mainly on big trees like this. And the reason for that is because, well, firstly we get more wood from the tree, but that's not really a big deal. Secondly, if you watch the bottom left corner, you'll see the wood coming in, but also we just got a tree grub. That's we've got as much wood as we're going to get from that tree. 6, I think, 6 wood logs from a big tree. But that tree grub is going to be useful for fishing, just basically for fishing bait. So there's a wolf there. Sometimes you can see the hit point bar before you can see the actual beastie. And I'm trying to work out, from my limited knowledge of the game, where we are. But the priority at the moment is to, well, get a wee bit lower so the temperature goes up, it already is, as the day goes on, because I don't want to be taking cold damage. At the moment we are wearing a pair of trousers, and that's it. So yeah, April, and we are not really dressed. What's the premise of this game? Well, I don't know. As far as I'm aware, there's no backstory. I like to think of it as some kind of bizarre blood sport. As if we've been... If I crouch down here, I might get close enough to this box to get it without that wolf attacking, which would be quite good. So the premise, I think... he growled, which means he knows we were there. Just try and leg it. Yeah, we're cool. So yeah, it's almost as if we've been dropped into this area, which is bounded by a sort of perimeter fence, but it's quite a big area, and left to fend for ourselves. But sooner rather than later, as well as all the wild animals, there will be human hunters who are quite well equipped, quite well armoured, quite well armed, and they will do everything they can to kill us, which is, you know, nice of them. So that's going to be a considerable threat. It's one thing to avoid animals, it's quite another to avoid humans that are shooting at you. So, yeah. So our priority now is to do what we can to get ourselves better equipped and in some form of security. So instrumental to that at the moment is going to be picking up these boxes. Right, and this is where my Bloodsport notion comes from, because these just randomly appear as if they're getting dropped in. Well, they obviously are getting dropped in, which would be a wee bit weird unless it was actually some sort of organised thing. So anyway, that's my idea. You see, you saw there probably a rabbit. If I shoot a rabbit with a handgun, I basically just blow it to pieces. We don't get anything out of that. The handgun, however, having said that, is not very good for shooting anything like that we actually need to shoot, like wolves, because it'll take a whole rake of bullets to actually kill a wolf. So, yeah, the handgun's not much good. It's more of a comfort security item than anything else, really. So what we need to get a small game, like rabbits and chickens, is a bow. However, we also need all the materials that it would take to make a bow and arrows to build the beginnings of our base. So you can kind of do one or the other, but not both. So what we're looking for at the moment is nails, wood, and this fibre that I'm picking up, because we can turn that into cordage, like so. We can also turn the wood into planks. I'm trying to get over to the west here, but that bear's in the way. There's a box up here though, so we'll go and get that. It's always a bit risky going up over hills like this, because you don't know what you're about to run into. There's a wolf over there. So yeah, the plan at the moment is to get as much of the stuff as possible and then find somewhere to set up camp. Another box up there if I can get it. And some scrap iron. So many nails as we can possibly get. That's what we really need. There's a lot of boxes here. Good times. Sometimes you can go for minutes without finding anything. If we keep getting lucky with materials, maybe we will be able to make a bow. Because if we don't get some sort of protein, we'll be suffering by the end of the day. It's really noisy chopping trees. Hopefully I can still be kind of heard when I'm chopping. I know there's a box there, but we'll just quickly get this tree as well. So what do you look for when you're setting up a base? Shit. You don't look to be angering the wolf. No, he's stalking. Right, so we need to get clear of him and hope we don't run into anything else. Yeah, what do you look for when you're setting up your first base? Well, you need water, obviously. It's kind of your Maslow's hierarchy and needs thing, you know, you start off with shelter, water, food, and you kind of build from there. So, water with a source of food somewhere nearby would be good. And yeah, some basic shelter. These are our priorities for day one and this episode. Another bear, there's a couple of boxes ahead. It's one thing about the Unreal Engine, sometimes the draw distance is just kind of weird and you see things that are really miles away. Which I'm not going to complain about in this instance. Hopefully some nails. Yep, 10 nails, that's brilliant. Good times. kind of have an idea of where we are now, which is nice. And a vague idea of where to go. Oops, more scrap iron. There's nothing really that is useless. You know, there's going to be a use for everything. And there's going to be times that we're going to be short of everything. So, I guess my point is that whenever you see something, pick it up. Because you will eventually need it. Probably more of it than you've actually got. Nice wee pond here. You could do some fishing there. We could get some water there. It'll be unclean water, we need to boil it. It's not a bad place to build, because, you know, handy for the water. But I kind of want to go a wee bit further west, where we should find another big lake, and that's kind of where we're aiming for. I've actually built back there when I tried this game. I tried it before and played it for a wee bit in easy mode, which was still quite hard. But we're now doing it on normal, so I expect it to be considerably more of a challenge. The main difference is that you can't save the game. It just kind of auto-saves, rather randomly. Oh shit. I don't even know where that was, but I heard a growl. Now this chicken, I could actually catch that by just chasing it. But the problem with so doing is that obviously it will run away, and there's a very good chance it will run into a bear or a wolf, and that would be the end of us. So, thought I saw something over here, but I obviously didn't. A couple of bits of fibre here, and we're going to need all the rope, well, the cordage that we can get. Just keep making that as we get it. Same for the planks. Gonna need a lot more planks than we have. So, keep heading west. If I can get an opportunity to, yeah, we're gonna try and run this guy down. No, he's going for that bear. Typical. So, oh Christ. Yeah, dangerous place. Bears and wolves all over the damn place. So if my Bloodsport motif holds up, then it's almost like they're, you know, artificially putting far too many predators into this environment. That there just looks like a normal plant. Is blueberries, which we will eat all of, actually. Right, food bar wise, we've got a protein bar and a fruit and veg bar and a hydration bar. So we need to be looking after all three of these, not just food and water. Two different types of food. Two wolves, one of them can smell us. You can kind of see it with its nose in the air. Just make sure we get a bit of distance. I can't really stress the fact that if we try and tangle with any of these, we'll probably just get killed. Even if we did manage to somehow kill a wolf, using about all the bullets that we've got, we would probably end up with an infection, which would then kill us, or blood loss, which would kill us. Or, well, you're getting the idea, I would imagine. It's not the best idea. Not at this point, anyway. So, there's another box way down there. Right, so this is this lake that I was kind of aiming for. So we'll go see how many more boxes we can find. There's a chicken there we might have a go at. That's some good stuff. Alright, so for some reason the jumping seems to help. It's almost like the chicken doesn't recognise you when you're in the air, so you can just gain a wee bit extra ground on it. Seems that way anyway. Might just be total nonsense. Oh no, didn't get it, and that's not good because he's going to run into a wolf. Oh dear. It looked like there was a box. There's a chicken and some blueberries. Come on. Come on, chicken. Stop. Oh no! I hate it when it does that. It's total user error, it's not a game's fault. Me not targeting properly, that's what that was. But I'm just giving him a million chances to find the predator to run into. Oh, give me a break now. I'm going past. Oh man. I don't even know where he went. Do you know what? Sod it. Too many boxes there that we went past. We have picked up a protein bar somewhere, and that'll probably stop us from actually dying of starvation. There's a bloody wolf there. If I crouch down like that, it makes it a wee bit harder for him to detect us. I have picked up a couple of arrows, which at least saves me the trouble of having to make them. Which means it might be possible to get a bow made and catch some game that way. We've done alright with some of the stuff. Some materials. So you're gonna go... Oh, no, he's off this way. We're off to the races again. Shit, bear. Yeah, right. Maybe we should just give up on the chicken chasing and have a look at building, at least to one degree or not. There's a box just off to the right there. I kind of want you to be able to see the fact that this theoretically is possible. Shit. He's stalking. That was a double growl, which means we were far too close. Which I suppose was pretty obvious. It's not normally this difficult, to be honest. Just because I'm recording. I'm trying to find those other boxes that we missed. Sure there was one up here, but obviously not. Okay, so basically I need to stop panicking about because there's a limited amount of day, and if it gets dark and we're not ready, we will freeze to death. Time wise, yeah, it's after midday, so it's in the afternoon now. That is your only way of telling the time, incidentally, is just to look at the sun, which doesn't really work very well if it's cloudy, as you can probably imagine. So this looks like a, an alright place to set up base. I kind of want to be, maybe it's just down there actually, just so that we've got really easy access to water and we can do some fishing more or less actually from the base. What I might do eventually is build all the way up here and expand upon this top bit, but that's, way down the line. We're looking at basic priorities here. So we just nip down here and we will build one more plank. What have we got? I've only got 4 planks, that's not going to be enough for anything. This one more will be enough for a foundation, but while that's doing, we'll just go and grab some more wood. There's a lot of tree chopping in this game. It's not very interesting, to be fair, but not only do we need to chop trees to build, but we're going to need fuel for our campfire as well. And campfires go through a lot of fuel. We have 2 matches, so if the campfire goes out because we forget to fuel it, then we have a second option at least. We were pretty lucky getting that second match, that we will be able to actually relight the fire. But one of the things that's going to be in a sort of top 10 priority list is going to be a wood burning stove, because it's just more efficient, it uses less wood. We got potato seed. Well, eventually we'll be planting stuff as well. There's a lot of crafting in this game. It gets quite in depth, but the one thing that it's all got in common is that everything's difficult to make. Nothing's easy. The guy that made this game, I think it was just one guy, well, the guy that still is working on the game, he's a bit brutal. He doesn't, yeah, nothing's easy in this game. A wee bit of scrap metal in the background there as well, and we'll need a lot of that. We need a lot of everything at this point. So, more planks. Many planks. That should be enough to get the basic base built, but we're still going to need more wood for the campfire. That appears. Not happy about us being there. Oh, come on, buddy, sod off. He's not in full on attack mode. It's just as well, because if he was, we'd be dead. Well, you can sometimes outrun them. As long as you don't run out of stamina. Which is in the bottom right. But the stamina regeneration depends a lot on your general health. So if you're malnourished or hungry, then it won't go up. Well, it'll go up very, very slowly. Which means you can't run away from anything. Which I suppose makes sense. But it's a touch inconvenient. So. Right, we're already, taking too long. This is taking longer than I kind of wanted this to run, so just grab these last couple of bits of fibre for some cordage, and then we'll go back and look at our options. Actually, don't know how many nails we've got. 48, that's actually quite good. Could be a lot worse. That is ore, incidentally. There's a few different types of ore. We could harvest it using the axe, but we would damage the axe, and there's nothing we can do with the ore at this point, because, yeah, we've got no way of refining it into something useful. So, not a lot of point. So we need a foundation, that's a priority. Then we need a wall. And then we need a ceiling, but we still need more wood for that. Another plank. Which isn't really going to give us much spare. We might, with just a little bit more stuff, we might be able to make a bow as well, which would be, oh, there's a bear over that way, don't move that way. Yeah, so while that stuff's building, I'll just run out and grab more wood, if I can safely do so. You can only harvest trees once a day, as far as I'm aware, so you can't just keep repeatedly harvesting the same ones over and over. You can see some of the stuff starting to appear in the hotbar at the bottom that we're crafting. Same as a lot of games do it. I mean, it reminds me a lot of some of the mechanics from like Conan Exiles and stuff like that. But I suppose, yeah, quite a few games that use the hotbar idea. So looking at, yeah, we're desperately short of protein at this point. We do have this protein bar, so that's fine. Didn't even take us out of the kind of amber though, it's still dangerously low. Not where I want us to be, but it is day one, and day one is always a bit of a struggle. Right, so we'll go down and we'll get the beginnings of some shelter. The reason I'm so keen on getting a roof is because if it rains, our campfire will go out, and that would be a bad thing. It probably will rain, because it rains quite a lot. So, this looks like as good a place as any. Just here. Try and get this so we can get onto it, but I kind of want to keep it so it's higher than the surroundings. I'll do. Now, if I try and put this wall at the back, it's not going to work, is it? Oh, it could. Yeah, could do. This is where our base control unit is going to go. It needs to be mounted on a wall. But it could be mounted in the top left-hand corner of that wall. That's fine. That kind of looks squint, doesn't it? Apparently not. Okay, that's fine. And we should now be able to make a roof as well, I think, yes. Okay, now that that's done, we need, ideally, a bow. So we're short of sticks. Sticks are easy. Let's just break down some wood. And yeah, still a little bit short of cordage as well. Only need one more though, so it's not too bad. Nearly done for this first little beginning episode. Oh well, yeah, there's going to be a campfire that we need to make as well. Never ending, really. It's getting dark. You can see the sun's angles changing. So we're running out of time. I don't know if we're going to get the bow done today. Probably not. But we are going to need enough wood to get us through the night. And the campfire goes through quite a lot. Chicken there. I really do want that chicken. Okay, like that. Quickly get this bow. We picked up a couple of arrows, so we don't need to worry about that. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Well, I've still got enough light to shoot. It's just going to mean that the next day is going to be less of a mad struggle. Right, where did you go, chicken? Where did you go? Come on, come on. Honest to God. Very little time left here. There we are. Gotcha. For the record, that wasn't quite as easy as it looked. Okay, so we've got some food, we've got enough wood to get through the night, I think. There's some more metal I just didn't see because of the light. And a box I didn't see. Did anybody else see that? Because I totally missed it. Another arrow. Yeah, you lose the arrow if you actually hit something. And it might break if you miss. So we've still got 2 arrows, that's a good start for tomorrow. And we've got some feathers. Well, we have 1. Yeah, we've got 1 feather, but we'll get a little bit more when we do this. Kill the chicken. Butcher the chicken. Now we've got 3 arrows and some chicken meat. 3 feathers and some chicken meat. Now hopefully we've got everything we need to do a campfire. More sticks. Okay. Animals are less likely to come up onto a foundation. They don't seem to do that very often. So that's one of the reasons that you really want to get this foundation laid early and stick your fire on. Seems a wee bit daft to have a fire on a wooden foundation, but you know, hey, games. Game logic. So we put fuel into the fire. Fuel bar fills up. It's taken all of the wood that we had, which is not good. In fact, it's so bad that I'm desperate enough to go out and try and get some more wood. Which, at this point, obviously, we've hit that one. We've hit that one. Yeah. At this point, it's not good because we can't really see animals anymore. It's too dark. 3 bits of wood is probably not going to make much difference, but it's all we're going to get. Northern Lights. Hopefully this fuel will take us through the night. We will use a match and ignite. So we'll put that chicken on to cook. We will have a drink of water. The canteen is now empty, so this is the reason we're building right next to the water. Walk down here, fill it up, but it's dirty water. And go back up again and put that on the boil. And once this stuff's finished, that'll be the end of this episode. And it gives us a start for greater things to come, hopefully. What else have we picked up here? A couple of rifle bullets. We won't need them for a while. Shotgun shell. Yeah. We might need that sooner rather than later. You see the fire's producing ash, which I suppose you would expect, but something that you don't often see in games. And yeah, we will use the ash for a number of things, including fertilizer. Right, that chicken is now cooked, so we can safely eat it. Hasn't made a huge difference, but it will keep us alive through the night, and this water is now clean. So, if it wasn't for the fact that we need the heat to keep us warm, I would let this fire die now. But as it is, we'll just call this the end of the episode, and we'll pick it up. I'll just come back and see what the next day brings. But if you've watched this long, probably longer than I wanted it to be, definitely longer than I wanted it to be, then thanks for watching. And hopefully, well, we'll just see where we go, see how long we can last. So, see you next time.